me, that's like good enough. It's like just a good like idea of a beat, really. I've gotten a few comments about like how I make beats, kind of the process, and I've kind of like talked about it a bunch of times on TikTok, but I figured I would like show my process. All right, throw this in Logic, and I kind of like already looking at it, kind of know what I want. There it is. So I'm always looking for like the loop right there. So that's the loop. I'll figure out the BPM. I'm sure there's a right way to do it. I don't know how to do it the right way, so I just do it this way. A ton of people have sampled this before. I've heard this in a ton of stuff, but we're just doing this for fun. I've just done this for so long and just see in the wave files, kind of like if you were looking at a record, you could just drop. You kind of like know via the grooves, you know. I'll kind of like play with the pitch. I just like dark shit, so I always just go down. Like I start with a 2-bar, just trying to find an 8-bar, 2-bar like loop, and then from there we keep kind of like building. This is like my ghost kick, and I do the same thing every time. Lower it, take the EQ. So now I'm trying to find like the drum pieces I like, but I'm also trying to find like a drum rhythm. Like, I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll like find a kick, and then kind of put the like pump and kick kind of behind it as an extra kind of like boost. I'm not really worried about like mixing what it sounds like. I'm just trying to get like a rough idea. Some variation in my hi-hats. I like my kicks loud actually, like thumping. My hi-hats and my snares, I always just bring them down, and then everyone mixes them and brings them louder, but I like them lower. There's no science to it. This is my way of doing it. I don't know if it works for everyone, but. We're just trying to find stuff, just to find more textures, just to add stuff. I add these one-shots in, just mix them in, just to make it more interesting. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. So then I kind of build my 8-bar loop. I kind of have an idea. Now I usually try to find like a fill or something to make it a little more interesting, because it's kind of boring, but ultimately I'm just trying to make beats for people to rap on. Once they choose the beat, then I go in and I'll even add more stuff with them or like build it out and stuff like that. For me, that's like good enough. It's like just a good like idea of a beat, really. That's like something like, okay, cool, we'll put that in the folder, and that's like an idea. If someone wants it, we'll build on it, we'll subtract or add, but it's like just kind of the process of, that's the process of building like a beat, basically. Word. That's how I make beats, basically. That's the process. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're extremely mediocre like this. Sometimes they're great samples, but you just can't find the right thing. Like, I just cannot find how to flip it. Then I pass them on to the homies and be like, yo, make ill shit with this.